welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hi. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you stick around, hit that subscribe button and also turn on that bell so you're notified every single time that I post. Also, don't forget to check out my social media, which will be linked down below, and also check out my Patreon as well, which is also linked in the description box. Today we are discussing the Madeleine Mccann case. Now, we're not discussing the actual case and what happened over the period of like the past 10 years, I think it is, I don't know, don't quote me, but we are looking at the theories around the case. A lot of other YouTubers have done a really good job of covering Madeleine Mccann's case, so I will leave one of them videos linked down below if you do wish to watch the whole case and find out a bit more before listening to my video about the theories around the case. So with all that being said, let's jump right into the first theory. So the first theory is probably one of the most popular theories within the Madeleine Mccann case. And this theory is that Madeleine Mccann was possibly sex trafficked. If you don't know what sex trafficking is, I will give you a brief overview. Sex trafficking is human trafficking but for sexual exploitation, such as sex slavery. The victim is essentially sold by the trafficker to people for their own sexual needs. So the Netflix documentary that was recently released about Madeleine Mccann spoke very highly of this theory. Even though none of the information involved has been proven, the public still believe this theory. A police officer that was involved in the case and also the documentary did say that Madeleine Mccann had a high profile and she was the perfect type of person to be trafficked, and that a trafficker could make a lot of money off Madeleine. There had also been an unusual increase in sexual assaults in the area in the years building to Madeleine's abduction. Police identified 9 sexual assaults on young people and 3 near misses in the area in the 3 years leading to Madeleine's abduction. In 2005, a 10-year-old girl was actually sexually assaulted in the same area that Maddie was taken from. Police also discussed how Maddie was the right age and also had the right look that sexual predators are looking for. This information highly supports the theory that Madeleine Mccann was abducted for sex trafficking. The next theory is that Madeleine Mccann's parents actually sold her to sex traffickers. People believe that the parents had actually agreed to sell Madeleine. They say that the parents purposely drugged her so then she would be easier to abduct, and then they arranged for somebody to come into their apartment and take Madeleine whilst they were out. A lot of people believe that the recent documentary that was made on Netflix was simply a deterrent to take people's minds away from Madeleine Mccann's parents, Kate and Jerry. There definitely isn't a lot of evidence backing this theory up, but it is one that I thought I'd insert into this video as it's one I didn't discover until researching the theories around this case. There are more theories involving Jerry and Kate Mccann. Some are definitely more believable than others, and I'm just going to go over a couple of them now. The first being that Kate and Jerry Mccann actually drugged Maddie. They then accidentally overdosed and killed her and then tried to cover their own tracks. What makes some of these theories believable and more believable than others is that Kate and Jerry Mccann were actually suspects for most of this case. Police were definitely looking into the parents as suspects, and police did think at one point that Kate and Jerry had actually used Calpol to drug their children. And they think that they possibly did this to Madeleine to keep her quiet and keep her asleep, as the night before it was reported that she had woken up when her parents weren't in the apartment. So they did this so she would stay asleep whilst they were out at the restaurant. And then they accidentally gave her too much this night, and then in turn that killed her. So the next theory that actually involves Kate and Jerry Mccann is that they killed Madeleine on purpose, and now they are trying to cover up their crime and involvement. The one piece of evidence that backs up this theory is the sniffer dogs that were used in the apartment and rental car. They found the scent of decomposing body in the apartment and also in the rental car. Also, a very small amount of blood was found. The dogs also found the same scent on Kate McCann's clothing. Now this piece of evidence is very controversial, as people tend to believe that sniffer dogs are not intelligent enough but not crucial enough to be actual evidence. People believe it could be more circumstantial evidence. So that obviously leads police and people to think that that evidence is not significant in this case. But when being interviewed, Kate McCann actually refused to answer 48 questions regarding the night when Maddie went missing. Now, in my personal opinion, if my son was to go missing, no matter if it's on holiday or at home, in a shopping centre, anywhere, I would do anything that I could to get my child home. And if that meant being interrogated and being a suspect by police, I would 100% cooperate just to get my son home. I don't understand why she didn't answer the police's questions and just stayed totally silent. As a mother myself, I really don't understand why she did that. It was later revealed that there was no DNA lead between the car and the apartment and Madeline, but this theory is still widely believed by a lot of people. The next theory is that Madeline was actually taken by a couple who couldn't have children. Now this theory is not widely spoken about at all, but it is definitely possible. It has happened before. People have stole other people's children, even from the womb, when they can't have children of their own. I don't know, it must be so desperate. Honestly, I could not understand someone's situation who couldn't have children, but to go to some extremes, and people do go to them extremes, absolutely bewilders me. People believe that a childless couple could have paid a criminal to steal Maddie, so then they could take her and bring her up as their own. But this isn't a theory that I personally would sway towards. I'm not saying it isn't possible, but if you was going to steal a child, surely you would steal a child who is younger, a child that isn't going to be aware of what's happening. So then there's less chance of you getting caught. But that is just my opinion. The next theory is a little crazy and is a little out there, but this is the discovery theory. Many people believe that Madeleine McCann was actually found, and due to how high profile her case was, she had to remain missing to everybody else to live a normal life. People believe that she was actually given a new identity to avoid people knowing that she was actually safe and well. I'm not sure what I think about this theory, but one thing I know is it's definitely not impossible. The last theory is another popular theory, but the decisions on this theory are very much split. This is a theory that Madeleine McCann just simply wandered off. People believe that she just simply wandered off and sadly died somehow, whether that be her succumbing to the elements or drowning in the sea. People believe this theory and don't believe that there was in fact any foul play involved. Drowning is the #1 cause of deaths in children aged from 1 to 4. They don't know the dangers of water, and this is why they should always be supervised when around water. The Netflix documentary does go over how the door to the apartment was unlocked and there was an easy access to the road, which does make this theory more plausible. So that is all I have for theories. Now there are many more, some really crazy. If you do want me to delve a little deeper into the theories and want me to make another video, please let me know, because I did have a lot of fun researching these theories, because that's not something I've ever gone into really. I've only ever really looked into the Madeleine McCann case, not the theories around the case, so it was really different for me and I enjoyed doing it. So if you want me to possibly make a part 2 to this video, let me know in the comments. Just comment something like part 2 ? And I will get that done for you. So that is all for this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a massive thumbs up. I'm sorry if I did seem like I was whispering through this video. Dominic is currently napping and I was trying to not wake him up because sometimes I can be a little loud. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell so you're notified every single time that I post, and I shall see you in my next true crime video. Bye.